Welcome back, folks. I am Jon Najarian, and this is, as the screen says, 3 at 3. 3 at 3. Every day we present to you unusual option activity from both the Heat Seeker, which is our algorithm that's looking for blocks of options accumulated on the offer, calls or puts, and our social media scanner, which is getting the full fire hose from Twitter as well as Reddit. And we are pulling sentiment from those boards. We are filtering out the people that, quite frankly, don't matter. And we don't make a judgment on if you've got 1 follower or 10,000 followers. We do it based on how accurate you are. So the algorithm for the sentiment indicator is basically just looking for the accuracy of calls various folks are making. And if they are not very accurate, then it drops them off. It's a machine learning tool and a little AI applied. And that's how we do the sentiment. So let's dive in. It is the 23rd of June, 2021. Our disclaimer is that you need to understand the risks before you take them. And I would encourage you to understand that we are presenting this information for educational and informational purposes only. Our intellectual property is not limited to patents, trademarks, registered marks, and so forth. So please do not reproduce what we're using in any commercial venue without asking us. Freeport, this one just continues to drive higher. I have now rolled up again. Initially with the stock at 34.60, they were buying upside calls. I bought 34s, sold upside calls. Then I rolled them up to the 35s, then the 36s. You want to know where the stock is today, folks? 37.65. So it's got about a nice $3 rally out of the stock. But again, if you're somebody who risked $34,600, which is what a 1,000 share position would cost you in Freeport, and you've made $3,000 on that, congratulations. $3,000 on a $34,000 investment, let's call it 10%, a little more. The options have more than doubled. In fact, the original options have tripled. So just kind of giving you some idea that as the stock hits a high today of 38 on volume of 15 million shares just a little bit ago, it's been a pretty good day and a pretty nice ride in Freeport. And I'll get to rides and ride sharing in just a moment. This is our Market Rebellion YouTube channel. You can go there, YouTube that is, type in Market Rebellion, and you'll get that. A channel with John and Pete. You'll also get all of that stuff you see across the bottom there. Pete's The Take, Daily Crypto Bite, 10 a.m. Eastern Time. You'll get my 60-second video. You'll get 3 at 3. You know how much you have to pay for all that? Nada. Zero. You get that all from YouTube for free. So migrate over there after this presentation and subscribe, because it doesn't cost you anything. You just hit the subscribe button. You can also hit the notifications button if you want Pete to come knocking on your door and deliver you some new content every time there is a new video. Told you we'd talk about ride sharing, and this is ride sharing. This is Uber. And Uber, when we saw it earlier today, UBER, it was trading under 50 bucks a share, just barely, 49.90. It is now 70 cents higher than that, trading at 50.60 or thereabouts. And they were buying next week expiration, July 50/50 calls. So the right to take stock from somebody at $50.50. And they were buying those 5,500. That means put another 2 zeros at the end there, 550,000 shares equivalent. That's a pretty big trade. So we like to follow those kinds of trades. 10,000 options is 1 million shares of stock, because you throw 2 more zeros on the end. And this one, 5,500, little over 500,000 share equivalent in Uber. And here's where Uber is now. There was me on the show talking about that. There is Uber now, 50.36 when we made that slide. That is 12.5 million shares, and it's been as high as 50.63 already today. That's the first of today's 3 at 3. If you'd like to learn more, we encourage you to go over to marketrebellion.com. That's marketrebellion.com /UOA, and that'll bring you to Market Rebellion's unusual option activity page, where you can see exactly what we offer and you can inquire about it. We will send you information, or you can speak to a representative immediately. Here's the second of our 3 at 3, which is Rocket. Rocket, this is the mortgage company, of course, RKT. The stock made a nice pop right after we identified the unusual activity and said, hey, I have bought these calls during the show. Rocket was $19.35. They bought again next week expiration, July 2nd, leading into that holiday weekend. They bought these July 2nd expiration 20 calls for 27 cents. Cheap shot, right? Well, here's the stock moving through 20. Been as high as 20.35 today on that spike. And volume 9, let's call it 10 million shares versus normal 5.8. Yeah, if you think the Reddit crowd and others are in here, you are probably correct. So I am in this one. We will probably be in here in the neighborhood of 3 to 4 days, probably middle of next week. By then we'll be out. The daily crypto bite goes on every day at, let's see, 10 a.m. Eastern time. And by the way, when I say the July 2nd expiration, and I implied strongly that that is leading into the holiday weekend, we will not be trading on Monday, the 5th of July, because that will be the holiday we observe for Independence Day. Just throwing it out there. Daily crypto bite. So 10 a.m. Eastern time every day, we give you a little insight into which cryptos we're buying and which we're selling. CJ and Monty are part of that. The 3 of us participate in that daily crypto bite. Encourage you to join us. You can do that on Twitter every day. I think it streams on LinkedIn and Facebook and maybe Instagram as well. But also you can go to marketrebellion.com /try crypto and you can join. Costs you $1 for your first month. That's marketrebellion.com /try crypto. Now let's take a look. There's the judge. And we're talking about the call of the day, Under Armour, where I took some nice profits. Judge was nice enough to highlight that because I'd been in this one a while. It was up over 100%. That's the stock. The options, we just kept rolling as we rolled positions over and over again. Finally, today I took it off. Why? On one hand, the baby's born. On the other hand, it's been a great ride, and I don't know if I see quite as much upside from here. But obviously, somebody over at Cowen did, and so they gave it a target 100% higher again. Hope they're right. And then I hope we see unusual activity that drives me back in. Third trade of our 3 at 3 is Under Armour. I'm sorry, is United Airlines. Got you on the brain. Under Armour was the call of the day. United is the trade that we identified when the stock was $55.18, 10,000 January 65 calls. So that's $10 out of the money, my friends, $10. That's a big one. You probably want to be closer to the money, but I can't trade your money for you. You have to decide how to do it. But somebody wanted a million share equivalent of these Jan 65s. with Europe reopening, with people traveling and so forth, might not be such a bad bet. But I still want something closer to the money, which is what I pursued. And those Jan 65s there, you see nearly 12,000 by the time we went on air. And stock 55.35, been as high as 55.49 today. Robust volume, 6.5 million shares. I will probably be in this trade for months unless it's not working right away, in which case I will cut. Because if you're not a regular viewer, you know, or rather you don't know. If you're a regular viewer, you do know that what I do is if I pay $2 for an option and it loses half its value, I cut it and I move on. If the option doubles, goes from $2 to $4, I take half of that money off the table and then I put a stop order underneath, about 20 cents under where I got out. And I just keep rolling like in Under Armour. That lets me, let the winners run and cut the losses. It's all about managing risk, folks. Questions? My Twitter handle is @JONNAJARIAN. So you can send us questions to that handle on Twitter. And somebody did that, Wall Street Baby, which is at Stevie, STIVIE 6000. Hey, Pete, John, Market Rebels, I think it's time for X to go into giddy up mode. July 30s are seeing some action. Are you stepping in? Well, yes, we are. In fact, just 2 days ago, we saw that unusual activity in letter X, which is US Steel. And so we jumped on it. Stock was $23.54. Today, X has traded up to, let's see, a high on the day, $23.98. So the calls expire the 24th, which is Friday. So you've got 2 more days for these calls to live, my friends. So 11,000 of those changed hands. Yes, I am in the trade, and I will probably only be in the trade another day or so. K-Pen, whose handle is @Pen, PEN, KISHORE. And K-Pen asks, wondering if you're seeing any unusual activity in Palantir. And down below, Andrew has already put up there that yes, we are. Palantir, we're seeing 5,600 today of those July 2550 calls being bought for 89 cents. Important to note that these options expire July 2nd. So that's next Friday, not this Friday, next Friday. So you've got time. And yes, we are seeing unusual option activity in PLTR, one of those Kathy Wood stocks. Skull Clock, Wally G, which handle for Wally G is @WALLYG7. And he says, where did you get that skull with the clock in its mouth that was sitting on your desk a while back? Well, I don't know. It was a present. And I can't remember who it was a present from, quite frankly. It might have been my wife. I collect them, as you've probably seen, skull rings and so forth. I do because my brother Paul passed away, and I happened to have been reading Keith Richards' book, Life, I think it was called. And people started sending me skull rings because I commented on it. And I can't remember who sent me the first one. This is that first one, sterling silver. This is a gold one here, but I probably have 18 or 20 of them. So it's kind of a disease at this stage. But nonetheless, a lot of guys that I would ride bikes with would tell me, hey, we were doing bikes through Mexico and I saw this really cool skull ring, so I decided to get it for you or whatever. And I always said thank you and tried to pay them for it. Most of the time they wouldn't take it. But nonetheless, that's more or less the story of skulls and why I have skull rings and skull clocks. Thank you for joining us today, folks. If you would like to get started in trading stock, options, futures, or cryptocurrency, go on over to marketrebellion.com/get started. There you will see that we have distance learning, meaning you can log in from anywhere on this earth, and you could be on your iPad, you could be on your cell phone, you could be on computer, Mac, whatever, and you could be learning about how time decay affects options, how much an at-the-money option moves versus an out-of-the-money option. In other words, you'd get a great education about derivative trading. And if you need a coach or a mentor, we've got those too. We've also got subscription products. If you go over to marketrebellion.com/get started, you can read all about it. And I encourage you to do that. Thank you for joining me today, folks. I hope you have a great day, and we'll see you soon right back here on Market Rebellion Television. Thank you.